Imagine it's 40,000 BC. The sun has disappeared behind the horizon. The air is cold. Somewhere beyond the darkness, predators are moving through the grass. There are no cities, no books, no Spotify playlists called Deep Focus, no concerts, no headphones. Just a small group of humans sitting around a fire. And then something strange happens. A child picks up 2 sticks and accidentally knocks them together. Talk. The sound echoes. He does it again. Talk. Talk. A woman nearby starts tapping her foot. An old hunter laughs. Someone joins in by slapping their hand against a hollow log. Suddenly, without realizing it, humanity has begun making music. Not because it needed to. Not because it solved a survival problem. But because something deep inside the human brain absolutely loved it. This is the story of how music may have been born. And the weird thing is, nobody really knows when it happened. Because music leaves almost no fossils. You can find a spear that is 300,000 years old. You can find stone tools that survived millions of years. But a song? A melody? A rhythm shared around a fire? Those vanish the instant they're made. For most of human history, every song ever sung disappeared into the air forever. Which means the oldest music humans created is gone. Completely gone. Yet somehow, we know it existed. And the evidence is astonishing. Let's start with a simple question. Why does music even affect us? Think about it. Food makes sense. Food keeps you alive. Water makes sense. Water keeps you alive. Sex makes sense. Evolution practically built an entire advertising department around it. But music, a sequence of vibrations moving through the air, why should that matter? Why does a collection of sounds have the power to make people cry, dance, fall in love, remember childhood memories, or feel goosebumps? Scientists still argue about this. Some researchers believe music evolved because it strengthened social bonds. Others think it began as a byproduct of language. Some suggest it functioned as a form of sexual selection, basically the prehistoric equivalent of posting impressive photos online. Look at me. I can make beautiful sounds. I probably have good genes. Surprisingly, that theory isn't as ridiculous as it sounds. Many animals use complex vocal displays to attract mates. Birds sing. Whales compose elaborate underwater songs. Gibbons perform duets. Humans may simply be the only species that turned the performance into an industry worth billions of dollars. But before music became art, it may have been something much more important. Coordination. Imagine a group of 20 hunters moving together, running, throwing spears, working as a team. Rhythm is incredibly useful for synchronization. Even today, soldiers march to rhythm. Rowers pull together to rhythm. Workers historically hammered, chopped, and lifted to rhythm. Music isn't just entertainment. It's technology for moving groups of humans in unison. And that ability may have been a huge evolutionary advantage. A coordinated group survives. A disorganized group doesn't. Then there's language. Long before writing existed, information had to be remembered. Stories, warnings, migration routes, medicinal plants. Everything lived inside human memory. And memory loves rhythm. Try memorizing a random paragraph. Now try memorizing song lyrics. The difference is remarkable. Music acts like a storage device for the brain. Thousands of years before books, rhythm may have been humanity's first hard drive. Entire cultures preserved knowledge through songs. Some still do. Aboriginal Australian songlines contain geographical information that has been passed down for thousands of years. Ancient epics, like Homer's works, were likely transmitted orally for generations before being written down. Melody helped memory survive. But here's where things become truly fascinating. The oldest known musical instrument ever discovered is a flute, not a drum, not a rattle. A flute. In 2008, archaeologists studying a cave in Germany uncovered a flute made from the wing bone of a vulture. Its age? Around 40,000 years old. 40,000. Think about that. Human beings arrived in Europe. Ice Age mammoths still roamed the landscape. And somebody looked at a bird bone and thought, what if I drilled holes in this and blew into it? That's not survival behavior. That's creativity. That's imagination. That's someone chasing beauty. The flute wasn't a necessity. Nobody needed it to hunt. Nobody needed it to build shelter. Yet someone invested precious time and effort creating it. Because music mattered. Enough to justify the cost. Enough to carry through generations. Enough to survive an ice age. And that raises an incredible possibility. If humans were already building sophisticated instruments 40,000 years ago, music itself must be much older. You don't invent a violin before inventing humming. You don't build a piano before discovering rhythm. The flute wasn't the beginning. It was evidence that the beginning had happened long before. How long before? Nobody knows. Maybe 100,000 years ago, maybe earlier. Some researchers suspect music emerged alongside language itself. Others think it may predate language. Imagine that. Before humans could explain the world, they may have been singing about it. Before they could write stories, they may have been performing them. Before they could build civilizations, they may have gathered around fires and shared rhythm. And perhaps the strangest part is that music doesn't only belong to humans. Scientists have discovered that certain birds understand rhythm. Some parrots can dance to a beat. Sea lions have demonstrated the ability to synchronize movement with music. Even chimpanzees show rhythmic behavior under certain conditions. The roots of musicality may run far deeper into evolutionary history than we once imagined. Which brings us back to that campfire. A small group of humans, darkness all around. No cities, no nations, no religions, no money, no history books. Just firelight flickering across faces. Someone starts clapping. Someone else joins. A child begins humming. Another voice answers. The rhythm grows. The sounds blend together. And for a moment, something extraordinary happens. A collection of separate individuals becomes a single group. Fear fades. Trust grows. The night feels a little less dangerous. That might be the real origin of music. Not performance, not entertainment. Connection. A technology for turning many minds into one. And in a strange way, that hasn't changed at all. Every concert, every lullaby, every national anthem, every love song, every beat dropped in a crowded club, every melody played through a pair of headphones at 2 a.m. They're all descendants of those ancient sounds around the fire. The instruments changed, the cultures changed, the technology changed, but the feeling stayed the same. 40,000 years ago, a human sat beneath the stars and made a sound simply because it felt meaningful. Today, billions of people do exactly the same thing. Different songs, same species, same heartbeat, same rhythm. And somewhere in the distance between that ancient campfire and your modern headphones, humanity never stopped singing.